Over 2 millennia ago, a young prince from the kingdom of Macedonia rose to reshape the world as we know it. His conquests stretched from Greece to India, creating one of the largest empires in history. Known as a warrior, visionary, and legend, his name still echoes through time: Alexander the Great. In this series, we'll explore the extraordinary life of Alexander the Great, divided into 6 fascinating chapters. From his humble beginnings in Pella to his conquests that changed history forever, we'll uncover the man behind the myth. Our story begins in 356 BC in the small but ambitious kingdom of Macedonia. Alexander was born in Pella, the capital to King Philip II and Queen Olympias. His birth was surrounded by omens, with legends claiming that his mother dreamt of a lightning bolt striking her womb, foretelling her son's extraordinary destiny. Alexander grew up in the shadow of his father, King Philip, a brilliant military strategist who transformed Macedonia into a dominant power. His mother Olympias was a fiercely ambitious and spiritual woman, influencing Alexander's belief in his divine heritage. She often told him that he was a descendant of Zeus himself. In 343 BC, when Alexander was just 13 years old, his father, King Philip, sought the best possible tutor for his gifted son. He turned to Aristotle, the greatest philosopher of the age, who was invited to the Macedonian court to guide Alexander and a select group of noble youths in their education. Their lessons took place in Mysa. Here, Aristotle taught Alexander subjects ranging from philosophy and ethics to politics, science, and literature. Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander explored the works of Homer, particularly the Iliad, which became his favorite text. He admired Achilles, the legendary hero of the Trojan War, seeing in him a reflection of his own aspirations for glory and immortality. Aristotle also emphasized the principles of governance and ethics. He taught Alexander that a great king must rule with justice and wisdom, uniting people under a common vision rather than ruling by fear alone. Recognizing Alexander's ambition and potential, Aristotle presented him with a personalized edition of the Iliad. Alexander carried this treasured book with him on his campaigns, calling it his manual of war. In 344 BC, a Thessalian trader brought a magnificent horse to the court of King Philip, offering to sell it. But there was one problem: the horse named Bucephalus was deemed untamable. Bucephalus was a towering stallion, powerful and fierce. He refused to be ridden, throwing off anyone who dared to approach him. Most dismissed the horse as a lost cause, but young Alexander saw something others did not. Alexander observed the horse carefully, noticing that Bucephalus seemed agitated not by the people, but by his own shadow. Realizing this, Alexander came up with a simple but ingenious solution. Turning the horse toward the sun, Alexander eliminated the source of Bucephalus' fear. He approached the stallion with calm confidence, earning its trust. To the amazement of everyone present, Alexander mounted Bucephalus and rode him across the field. King Philip, watching his son's triumph, was overcome with pride. He turned to his advisors and declared, "My boy, you must find a kingdom big enough for your ambitions. Macedonia is too small for you." From that moment, Bucephalus became more than just a horse. He was Alexander's loyal companion, carrying him through battles, across mountains, and into history. By the time Alexander was in his teens, he was no ordinary prince. He had already begun his military training under the watchful eye of King Philip II. Alexander's training was grueling. He mastered the use of the spear and sword, learned how to ride in full armor, and studied battle formations like the Macedonian phalanx. His first real test of leadership came at the age of 16 when King Philip left him in charge of Macedonia while leading a campaign in Thrace. During this time, a local rebellion threatened the kingdom. Rising to the challenge, Alexander led a small force to crush the revolt, founding a new city, Alexandropolis, in the process. This victory earned him the respect of both the army and the court. Alexander accompanied his father on numerous campaigns, learning firsthand the intricacies of strategy, negotiation, and battlefield tactics. Philip often involved his son in council meetings, teaching him the importance of alliances and the delicate balance of power among the Greek city-states. By the time Alexander reached adulthood, he was not just a prince. He was a battle-hardened warrior, a strategist, and a leader who had already proven himself on the battlefield. In the next chapter, we'll witness Alexander's rise to the throne and his first steps toward empire building. From a young prince to a warrior king, his journey is just beginning,